The Snow Queen. Long ago, an evil spirit made a mirror that twisted the way things looked. In that mirror, whatever was good appeared small and ugly, while whatever was bad looked big and clear. The spirit's followers carried the mirror around the world and threw it up into the sky, laughing. The mirror shattered into countless pieces that flew away on the wind. Those pieces pierced people's eyes and hearts and turned the world into something cold and distorted. In one town lived a boy named Kai and a girl named Gerda. They were neighbors and often played together in a little attic garden full of flowers. One day a shard of the mirror slipped into Kai's eye, and another stabbed into his heart. In an instant Kai began to mock the flowers and even laugh coldly at Gerda. When winter came, Kai said only ice and snow were beautiful, and his heart slowly froze. On a snowy day, Kai rode his sled out to the town square. Then a woman appeared on a white sled, beautiful with a chilling kind of beauty. She was the Snow Queen, and she tied Kai's sled to her own. The queen kissed Kai, and the painful feeling of cold left his body. With a second kiss, Kai forgot Gerda, his home, and everything he had loved. The Snow Queen carried him away through the blizzard, far to the north. In the town people said Kai must have fallen into the river and died. But Gerda did not believe it and decided to search for Kai herself. In spring, Gerda went to the river and asked whether Kai was alive. The river did not answer and only kept flowing. Wearing her red shoes, Gerda began her journey alone. At the start of her trip, she threw her red shoes into the river and wished to trade them for Kai. But the river returned the shoes, and Gerda had no choice but to go on. She came to a little house where flowers were blooming. A flower witch lived there and welcomed Gerda kindly. With a spell, the witch made Gerda's memories fade and drew her attention to the garden. For a while Gerda played among the flowers and almost forgot why she had come. But the moment she saw a red rose, she remembered Kai and the roses in their own garden. Crying, Gerda ran out of the house and escaped from the witch's garden. And so her journey began moving forward again. On the road, Gerda met a crow in the forest. The crow said a young prince in the royal palace looked like Kai. Gerda went to the palace and begged to meet the prince. The palace was glittering, and soldiers and servants hurried about. Gerda met the prince, but he was not Kai. Still, the prince and princess felt sorry for her and treated her kindly. They gave her warm clothes and shoes, and a carriage filled with gold coins. Gerda thanked them and continued her journey. But on the way, robbers attacked and carried her off with the carriage. Gerda was taken to a robber's cabin in the forest. In the cabin there was a robber girl who became interested in Gerda. The robber girl decided not to kill Gerda but to keep her close. A reindeer was tied there, and it knew stories about the far north. The reindeer said the Snow Queen had a palace above Lapland in the north. The robber girl was moved by Gerda's courage. She set Gerda free and let her ride the reindeer toward the north. So Gerda and the reindeer headed for the freezing land together. They traveled through snowstorms and reached the hut of a Lapland woman. The Lapland woman warned Gerda and wrote a letter to the next person she should meet. With that letter, Gerda and the reindeer went farther north. At last they arrived at the hut of a Finland woman. The Finland woman read the letter and saw the strength in Gerda's heart. The reindeer begged her to give Gerda more power. But the Finland woman said she could not give her any greater power than she already had. Gerda's greatest strength was her kindness and her love for Kai. The Finland woman only showed her the way to the Snow Queen's palace. Gerda set off alone across the plain of ice. The wind was sharp as a blade, and the snow stung her face. Yet Gerda walked on, praying, step by step through the blizzard. Her prayer made a small path of light in the cold wind. At last Gerda reached the Snow Queen's palace. The palace was made of ice, glittering brightly but terribly cold. In the middle of the vast hall, Kai sat all alone. He was pale and was playing with ice splinters, forming the shapes of letters. The Snow Queen had promised to set him free if he could spell the word, eternity. But with the shard in his heart, Kai stayed silent and cold. Gerda ran to him, called his name, and hugged him tightly. Hot tears fell onto Kai's chest and melted his frozen heart. Tears filled Kai's eyes, and the shard in his eye washed out and vanished. Their gentle hearts returned, and hand in hand, they went home together. How was today's story? Well then, let's meet again in the next one. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up.